Hi, it's Tamika Schilbe. The more I meditate, the better I feel about everything. The better I feel about the decisions that I have to make in my own life, the challenges, the more I can face what's going on in the world today. It always makes me feel more centered, more grounded, more peaceful, and happier. We have well over 40 years of studies that prove without a doubt that meditation helps us with our mental, emotional, and our physical health. So why, when we know that it's so credible, is it so hard to practice? For so many people, meditation is something that they can't commit to, they can't make happen in their lives. And why is this? We can get better at this. I think that there are 5 big myths that are holding us back from meditation, and that's what we're going to talk about today. The first meditation myth is that meditation is stopping the mind. This is not true at all. At least for beginners, meditation is not meant to be something that we use to stop thinking. If you think about it like this, we have about 2,600 thoughts every half hour. So that's a lot of mental content going through our brains. Can you imagine if we sit down and we try to just eliminate all of that? No, we don't need to, actually. So a lot of people try meditation and they sit down and they can't stop their thoughts because humans are meant to be thinking. That's part of what we do. Now, over time, our thoughts do change, or we can look at the thoughts that we have more easily and the nature of them, the quality of them, let's say, and they will slow down and they will shift. But our goal when we sit down to meditate is not to stop thought. The second meditation myth is that we are supposed to feel calm and blissful when we meditate. Now, that's true because I said it makes us feel more peaceful, but there's actually a resting and an activation cycle when we meditate. We always have both. It's like we have the sun, we have the moon, we have the winter, we have the summer. There's a flip side, and we're supposed to experience both these two sides. This moves back and forth. We have our active times where maybe our mind is busier. Maybe we even have like an old sadness or anger or jealousy come up, and things are bubbling up inside of us. So our body might be restless. We might want to get up and do something. We might be thinking about the past or the future. This is really normal when we meditate. What happens though is we learn how to move through those activated states, and we do come back to the peaceful states. Think of it as burning off energy, because you don't go to the gym the first time, or you don't climb a mountain the first time and think that you're just going to do it easily. It's the same as those things. It's a practice, but the more you stay at it, the more peaceful it becomes. The third myth about meditation is something that you might hear people saying from time to time. You hear them say, oh, my meditation is running, or my meditation is walking, or my meditation is gardening. Now, it's very true that those activities can bring us into a brainwave state that is very, very focused and calm, and we're in the zone. But the truth is that those aren't really meditation practices. That's not really meditating. Now, that doesn't mean it doesn't feel meditative for you, and you might not need a formal meditation practice, like a sitting still kind of practice. You might not need that at all. But technically, when we're running, we're navigating terrain and we're keeping ourselves safe. There might even be traffic. There's stuff going on. When we are gardening, we're moving soil around or we're pulling weeds out. So we're doing something, there's a goal. Even when we're walking, usually there's a destination, or there's a place that we go and a place that we come back to. So these things technically are not meditation unless you're doing a formal walking meditation. That is a style of meditation. So this isn't to take away from the beauty of those practices. In my experience, most people say gardening or running or walking is their meditation because they have run into obstacles with the first 2 myths that we talked about, and it hasn't gone well. So there might be still a secret desire in there for you to learn how to meditate, and that might be why you're saying running is my meditation. So if it is, go back to those first 2 myths and know that you can do this. The 4th myth is that meditation can do no harm. And I think that this is generally true, but also for myself as a counselor, I know that when we're in acute trauma, right after something bad has happened, maybe we had a car accident or we got really bad news, or we're just feeling so agitated because something's happened, meditation isn't always the best thing at that moment, because we have to get that energy out of our body. And sitting in stillness, there's a containment factor in our meditation because we are sitting and we're not moving. So the best thing to do when you're in a traumatic situation is to walk, because there's this repetitive movement that gets out the trauma from our bodies. This is important to know if you're teaching or guiding meditation to others that have had some big stressors. They may not be able to sit still in that moment because of the things that are going on in their lives. We all have trauma. We've all had things happen to us that are difficult. The other way I've seen meditation do some harm is that sometimes we have such good experiences when we meditate. We feel so expanded and connected to everything. We get answers to problems. There's so many good things that happen that as meditators, we can start to think that we're superior to people that don't meditate. Well, this is, of course, ridiculous, and we shouldn't let meditation go to our heads. Myth number 5 is my body wasn't made to meditate. Well, that may be true for some people, but if you're interested in meditation, which I'm assuming you are, you wouldn't be here, you do have something in your body that is made for meditation. It's called the pineal gland. It's inside the middle of your head, and its purpose is almost like a transmitter receiver. So it's meant to send out signals and receive information as well. So it's like our conduit to something bigger and something greater, and also our higher self, our inner truth. Now, there are some amazing digital apps or programs that can help you meditate. So if you feel like you really can't do it, some people find them very helpful. Enjoy those. And what I'm going to suggest to you on your meditation journey is that you at some point unplug from that. Now, don't get me wrong, I love technology. I wouldn't be with you today if it wasn't for technology. And at the same time, it can interfere with the functioning of our pineal gland. So it's wonderful if we can get away from our devices and meditate in nature, meditate with a few friends, find other ways to make yourself accountable to meditation. Use the digital supports at the beginning and then eventually wean yourself off those, or at least switch them up so that you have some with and some without. Now I'm going to throw a bonus myth in there, number 6. Myth number 6 is that you need the perfect space in your house to meditate, or the perfect situation to meditate. Absolutely not. It's never going to be perfect. There's going to be stuff going on inside of you, and often there are things going on around you as well. So if you're a busy mom and you've got kids climbing over you, or if you have a life that's very high-paced and stressful, how many minutes are there in the day? You can take 5 minutes out of the day to meditate. You've got the time. You've also got the space. I don't care if you lived in the most crammed little city apartment that you can even imagine. It doesn't matter. You can still meditate. It doesn't impact the quality of your meditation. Now, it is wonderful to meditate in settings like this here on Salt Spring. It's incredible. And you can also meditate in a subway station. It's possible. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you soon.